Over the next couple minutes, we're going to share a mystery, and your response to this mystery could change the rest of your life. So we're continuing our verse-by-verse study here in the Gospel of Matthew. We're in Matthew chapter 2, verses 11 through 12. So we've been tracking this whole concept of the wise men coming, and they're searching. They're searching for the baby Jesus, right? The young child, it says. And so they are watching, they're following this light, and then they go to Herod, and then they see the light again, and they're praising God for the light. Now, verse 11, it says, "And when they had come into the house, they saw the young child with his mother Mary, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented to him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh." Who did they present the gifts to? Baby Jesus, or the child. They didn't present it to the parents, they presented it to the child. Interesting fact that happened. So we have here responses. We've seen different people that have different responses to this whole concept of Jesus. We have Herod. Herod was angry, right? He's angry about baby Jesus. He's angry about someone coming to take the authority, the rule from Herod. Now, the second main group I can think of is going to be the religious leaders. And they don't really, they can't get baby Jesus wrapped in their head. They can't understand this. This wasn't how they expected God to come to them. So they chose to not believe it. They chose to reject it. They chose ultimately to reject Jesus. Now, for you and for me, maybe we have questions. Maybe we're crying out to God for answers, but we only want them. We're only going to accept them if they come in a certain package, if they look just right, if they sound just right, if they have all of the baubles and the wizards that we're expecting. Maybe they have all of the fanciness, and we've had the world put their stamp of approval saying, this is good, this is wise, this is worldly greatness, this is education, this is prestige or degrees, this has this accountability with all these different things. And we use our mind and we say, you know what? I'm asking God for this. And I see this thing as being presented, but I'm going to reject it because it doesn't have what I'm expecting. God should only come like this. And the things of God speaking to me should only look like this. So we reject. This is something that you and I fall into all the time, actually, where God actually tries to come and speak to us and provide exactly what we're asking, but it's in a different package than we're expecting. And I want to encourage you, really think about these things. Pray and ask God, how do you want me to respond to the things you have actually put in my life? This person or this information has come to me. Now, God, how do you want me to respond to this? Because ultimately, we want it to be God doing the work, not you and me. In the end, we want God to get the glory. If it's me getting the glory because I have done all the proper work for it, you know what? We can't give that glory to God. So again, we had the three groups. We had Herod, we have the religious leaders, and the third main group that I'm thinking of here is the wise men. And they respond, even though it didn't look like the package they were expecting. This is a humble beginning from a poor family, and yet the wise men chose, and that's our opportunity. We can choose, even if we don't understand it, because there's so much of God we don't understand. Even if we don't understand it, if it's obviously presented, we've prayed about it, we've read the scriptures, it seems to be in agreement, we need to accept what God is doing, accept the work that He has started. Even today, accept what He is doing in your life. And then they were given this opportunity. They chose, they found this baby, and they said, this is the one. The star has clearly led us here. Now we're going to give wonderful gifts. And the gifts had possibly huge significant impact. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Maybe this was about kingliness and royalty, and myrrh possibly being presented for death. Or maybe they were just incredibly expensive items, because the family was going to need huge expenses to be paid here in the very near future. And whatever the case was, they were willing to give. They gave their worship. They bowed down to this child. They presented things of their hands to give worship, and they were given one more opportunity. Listen in verse 12. Then, being divinely warned in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed for their own country in another way. This was the first opportunity. Okay, we've seen Jesus, we've accepted, we've worshiped. Now it's our opportunity to obey. Are you going to obey Him or not? That's the question. Are you and I going to obey Him? This was a potentially dangerous thing they were asked to do, to go home a different way. But would they obey? And they chose to. They chose to follow, worship, and obey what He said. And that's the question for you and for me today. Talk to God. Ask Him, God, what are you speaking to me today about? I want you to present things to me. I want to be your servant. Whatever that's going to look like. I want to praise you the whole way through. Please, God, give me the strength to obey you. And I lift that up for you guys as well, that God would give you the strength to obey whatever He is telling you to do. I sure love you guys.